Very good evening, everyone. This is Rajendran here, joining from Market Calls, and welcome everyone to learn Python faster for trading and investing using AI. So we are in the day 3 of the training session here, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna do something related to data visualization. So that's what we're gonna do in this particular session. We're gonna learn what are the things that we can use OpenAlgo to build a data visualization. We're going to use data visualization libraries like something like probably Plotly. We're going to do that. And maybe we can consider using something like Seaborn. So Plotly and Seaborn. First, we'll go to the Plotly website and Seaborn website, try to understand what exactly it is. And then we'll try to see what are the things that we can build using that. So let's say I'll try to pull up something like Plotly. So Plotly, right, they have an open source library in Python. Using that, you can create very interesting charts, a lot of very interesting charts. Example, you can go and find a lot of tons of examples here, right? So maybe something related to finance. You can find some lot of very interesting examples. Something like these kind of cool dashboards we'll be able to build, or maybe something like, let's say something like asset allocation. So they have something called weather dashboard. So yeah, you can see your own asset allocation, something like that. And not just that, Plotly is really good tool to build your own candlestick charts and indicators and all those stuff. And on top of that, we can also use TradingView also. So if you're having access to TradingView lightweight charts, you can also send data of your own data inside TradingView. There's a library called TradingView Lightweight Charts. You can go and try those things. So first thing first, let's try to understand how to get the historical data. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start the OpenAlgo version 2. I'm sure last week we had a chance to talk about OpenAlgo version 2. Now this week OpenAlgo version 2 is already released, right? So I'm going to start UV run app.py. That will be starting up the OpenAlgo here. Version 2 is what it's going to start up with. So I'll log in. So once the login is done, automatically the master contract is going to download, right? Now what we're going to do is we're going to go to the chat GPT. Last time also we talked about that chat GPT has something called OpenAlgo custom GPT. So that is what I'm also going to open over here. So I'll go to explore GPT and let me try to ask a question. This time we're not going to use OpenAlgo custom GPT. I'm going to show you even more bigger one. So let's say we'll go to something like OpenAlgo custom GPT and you can start the chat, right? So you can find a lot of very interesting things that people are been building. I mean, I cannot see that, but people are very frequently we're getting mailers saying that the tool is really good. And this time I'm going to show you even more a bigger tool, but that requires a little bit of paid version is what it is required. So I'm going to show you in Claude, right? So I'll tell you how to build in Claude as well. So if you go to Claude, I'll just sign up. As I said, you may need to have something like a $20 plan. You can also check the Claude pricing as well. Claude pricing. Particularly when it comes to visualization, Claude is really good in terms of building data visualization. Probably in a very shortly, we're gonna see those things, how good it is. $17 they say, but after taxation, everything it'll be coming around. Like if it is monthly, it is like $20. So 20 plus on top of that, there may be some GST will be there. So roughly you'll be paying around like 2000 something is what you'll be paying per month. So in Claude, in the paid version, only in the paid version, they support something called projects, right? So in the projects, I had created my own custom GPT. It's like something similar to custom GPT. The only difference is in chat GPT, I can create and everyone can use In Claude, I only can create and I only can use everything, right? So there is couple of disadvantages are there. So here you can add a couple of PDF files. These are like custom knowledge base, something like what exactly is this? This is like 920 straddle, and this is like OpenAlgo indicators. List of all the OpenAlgo indicators I had included over here. And not just that, probably we need some sort of an Python library also. I'm just checking where the Python libraries are because I'm going to replace with the latest one. ZMA crossover documentation, and this is like simple strategy with stop loss and target, and this is with momentum documentation. This is with 920 straddle documentation. This is like trend indicators, and this is like utility documentation. So likewise, you can find a lot of documentation I had uploaded. So whenever it is playing, it will be able to read these custom documentation also. So now what I'm going to do, we're also having this OpenAlgo documentation. I'm going to delete that. I'm going to bring up a new documentation, fresh documentation, because we've been keep on updating documentation. I'll go to the section of Python. So go to the section of Python, download that as a PDF, export as a PDF, and of course, print this, save as a PDF. It's a huge file, almost 1500 pages, I think it is there. I mean, not sure, but at least there has been a decent amount of data is there in this particular thing. So almost 22 pages, I think. Maybe entire OpenAlgo documentation is 1500 pages. Python documentation is only 22. So let it load. Slightly intensive, but yeah. So let's save this. I want to put this in the download section. Save it. And I'll go to Claude, and then I'm going to add Claude over here. I need to attach the files, right? Upload from the device, downloads, and then I'll attach this. Now, I would say, compared to OpenAlgo custom GPT, if you are preparing your own GPTs in Claude Code, I had find it very much effective. And in fact, how much ever I use ChatGPT, I also use Claude to a greater extent. There are mostly, I would say, like these days, most of our entire OpenAlgo itself powered by Claude Code only, right? So we use another monster. It's called Claude Code. Now, let's say I just want to I'm going to do a very basic things, right? So I'll say like I want to I want to do what? I want to plot candlestick charts using Plotly. I'm just specifying Plotly here itself. Otherwise, it's going to choose Plotly. It's a 5-minute time frame of, I would say, like it's a 5-minute time frame of Reliance data for the last 20 days. So last 20 days, I want to plot 5-minute chart of Reliance chart using Plotly is what I want to plot. It's going to give me the code. Very simple, nothing much, not super complex. The same thing I'll be able to get. If I ask the same thing, I'll be getting the same thing in ChatGPT also. I'm going to get the same thing, right? But Claude always goes one extra mile. Let's see what extra mile it's going to do. This is something which is very simple. So ChatGPT also will be able to solve, and Claude is also able to solve. Yeah. So here is the code, right? What I'm going to do, I'm going to copy the code. Maybe I'm going to run this code directly in Python. That's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to run it in the IPython notebook. We can do that. But first I'll show you directly if I'm going to run what is going to happen, how to run it in Jupyter Notebook also, because both will give you a better idea how to manage if in case tomorrow you want to manage inside uh, OpenAlgo if you want to install Plotly and everything. So a lot of things need to be taken care, right? If you're going to run it in Jupyter Notebook. So here is you can find examples over here. If you go downstairs, you can find examples. Inside examples, you can find Python. Inside Python, you can find a lot of examples over here. So one among that, I'm gonna add this plotting candles dot py. I'll put the code over here, complete code, almost 172 lines of code it is. I'm not even looking into what the code is trying to do. All I'm bothered about is like I'm bothered only about the output. So I'll go and change the API key. This is the key, right? This is API key of OpenAlgo, not your broker. Your broker API key will be living in .env, right? Mostly any interaction you're going to do with Python or AMI broker or TradingView, your first point of contact is OpenAlgo API key. So I'm going to take the API key. I'll go back and get the API key from OpenAlgo. So you can get the OpenAlgo API key. Probably you can get it from the API key section. Just copy that and come back and paste it over here. And now we want to start the application. How I can start the application is like I can add a new terminal. So there's a provision. Either you can get it from terminal and then new terminal, or there's a plus button is there. It opens up another PowerShell terminal. Now from this PowerShell terminal, what you can do is go to that particular folder. So you go say like cd space OpenAlgo. Inside OpenAlgo, we have like examples folder. Inside example folder, we have a Python folder. Now I want to run this Python code, which is plotting candles.py. So it's very simple. UV run. So we are not using the regular Python method. We are using the UV package manager. So UV run is very much faster and it is also modern as well. Almost majority of the people are already started migrating towards UV. So UV run and plotting candles. That's what I'm going to say and then type enter. So if everything is going fine, it is able to, can see that it is able to get the data, but somehow I'm just getting an error over here. So it says like failed to fetch the history. Let me check what is the historical date it had mentioned. I asked for last 20 days, right? Is it really doing the last 20 days? Where is the historical function? Here is the history. Here is the start date and end date. We are sending over here. So this is like today's date and 20 days back. Okay, that is fine. Okay. So what I'll do, I just simply copy and paste this issue. Last time also people said like, oh, I mean, not people said, but usually people in the markets, they are saying like, I tried, it is throwing error. That's what the common thing people generally get the context, right? First, usually if there is an issue, it's going to sort it out. Otherwise, we need to see what or how much better, what context I'm missing. That is what we need to think about it, right? And that is where the human and machine collaboration is there. So it's all about human and machine collaboration and getting things done with the help of machines faster. So minus 30 40 saying like that many number of lines has been removed and so many number of lines has been getting added. It's what we call as a diff. So 49 lines added and 46 lines removed. So it means completely some changeover is it's doing over here. It also said like what changes it had done. It also added the code as well. Let me copy the code, paste it. Unfortunately, if I copy and paste, right, my old API key will go away. So it doesn't matter. We can get it one more time. Copy that and paste it over here, save that and run it again. So it's getting the data now. It's also, you see that a lot of things are happening. What does it mean is it's creating an HTML file. That's what it's trying to do here. So the HTML file is here. You might think it is an error, but it is not an error. It's an HTML chart. It is generated. And there you go. You got an candlestick charts of 5-minute data on a Plotly charts. No knowledge of Plotly. Nothing is required. if you're having knowledge of Plotly, that is definitely an added advantage. I'm not denying that, but that knowledge is no more required, right? In order to plot Plotly kind of chart, simple things you want to do. But how about I want to add indicators? I'll say like now I'm going to say like, hey, this code works. This code works, but now I want to, but now I want to add RSI at the bottom, and let's say, and I also want to add like Bollinger Bands at the top, Bollinger at the top, right? That's the only thing I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna say what RSI to add. If I want to be very specific, I should have added that. And Bollinger Band, by default, everybody knows that 20 and 2, that's a number, and RSI is like 14. Where these numbers are coming from, if you ask me, it is coming from the training data. Majority of the books, majority of the internet articles, right, they always point to RSI 14. That's why the model is also by default going and selecting the 14 values over here, right? So same thing goes with Bollinger Bands also. So 20 and 2 is default. So if I don't mention very clearly, it is gonna tell me that with a particular value. Or I can say, I'm gonna stop over here. I'll go back and edit and I'll say like RSI 20 is what I'm gonna say. And Bollinger Band, I will say like 15, 2, 15, 2. When I'm being very specific, then it's not going to fill the blank, it's not going to do the filling the blanks, but rather it is going to give me what exactly I want. So there are times if you don't give anything, it's going to fill up the blanks. You're not giving it, so randomly it's going to fill up the blanks. Sometimes it solves a purpose, but there are, when it comes to coding, right? When it comes to coding or trading, you have to be very specific. What exactly you want, you need to think in your mind and you have to speak in the form of prompts, right? So that way, the things are gonna build exactly the same way you want. So now it says, like, let me update the script to add RSI 20 and Bollinger Band 15, 2. So basically, it is rendering the data from my PDF. Basically, this is all these indicators are calculated inside OpenAlgo itself. As I said, Bollinger Band and RSI, all kinds of indicators, almost 100 plus indicators, OpenAlgo indicators are supported. So this particular custom GPT, I will not call this a custom GPT, but this particular OpenAlgo project inside Claude has complete control over every other indicator. And not just that, I can add more context also. Maybe I'll show you later on how much context it can support, how bigger detail it can support. So we have this Reliance candlestick charts now. Just copy that. And I want to replace my code, right? And of course, the one thing which is missing is like every time I have to refill my API key. There are different ways to handle that, but for time being, I'll keep it very simple. I'll not overcomplicate it. So I'll just copy and then paste it over here. Now, I'm going to run the same code, right? So it's downloading the pandas table data. And yes, that is like some HTML stuff which is running in. And now we are getting this Reliance candlestick charts. Let's see, are we able to get the data? You can see that it is able to get the data exactly. The Bollinger Band is calculated and the RSI is also calculated. Simple RSI is also calculated. Is live charts also an option? See, live charts is something different. Maybe you can go through some of the YouTube video, which I can recommend, where you can get a live chart from OpenAlgo itself. One of the contributor, Mr. Crypto Info. I don't know his real name, but a totally anonymous person. But if you go to the videos, you can find something called OpenAlgo charts. So OpenAlgo charts is what you can find here. Now it is much, much matured platform, right? So probably they've been building more than a month now. Tons of effort has been gone over here. you can find very interesting real-time charts. Every tick it will be updating, and you also get access to the historical data, everything as if like it is like your own personal trading view with your own data, with your own data from your own broker, or you can send your own data also. I think that's what they are planning now. So you can go and try it out. Right there, it is possible. It's an kind of an add-on tool along with OpenAlgo. Maybe very soon it will be integrated inside OpenAlgo itself. So the thing is, I can bring now any kind of custom indicators. Now I can go and ask another question over here, right? Like it works. What are the list of trend following indicators? Trend following indicators. Does it supports? I mean, when I say does it means I'll say like OpenAlgo supports. OpenAlgo itself supports indicator. If you could see the code, you can find that OpenAlgo, we are importing two things. One is the API we are importing, mostly related to algorithmic trading or data from the broker. And then we have importing something called TA. OpenAlgo in relation to TA, what does it means is it can support various technical indicators. So indicators like EMA, SMA, WMA, the DMA, you name anything, you can get all those indicators in just a matter of seconds. Using that, you can also, I'm going to do something crazy today. Like I'll say like I'll go to trading view, I'll go to products, I'll go to super charts, and then I'll go to indicators. I'm going to try out one of the simple indicators, what I'm going to try out. Let's say we'll try something like some popular indicator, top indicator, let's say William Fix Wix is one of the indicator which can predict very close to market bottoms. I'll edit the code, copy the code, and I'll say like, can you get this? That's what I'm gonna do. It knows that I'm not even saying that this indicator is trading you Pine script. I'm not saying that I want in OpenAlgo. I'm not saying that I what indicator I have to feed because the entire thread contains all the information. It knows now. It knows the entire thread knows how to plot flopper data, how it plot in plotly. Everything it knows that. Now it knows that I'm asking for. I just given the code, so now it clearly knows that how to build the indicator using OpenAlgo library, and it is giving me in Python. No other coding, nothing is there. Completely, it is building what exactly I want, and hopefully it should work also. Let's give a try. Sometimes there could be mild surprise, but mostly 80% of the time it should not be. Can I do the same thing with my own broker? If you ask me, 100% no. It's totally not possible. Even if you try one broker and tomorrow you want to switch to the broker, that's a nightmare. You have to prepare a hell a lot of documentation. But here, you build once and that will be applicable across all the 25 brokers, right? All right, so we got some code. I'm going to copy that. Is that code related to William Bixfix, right? So I'll copy. I'll say like maybe I want on a daily time scale that I'll manually change it. So I'll go and then I'm going to add another code. I'll say like William Bixfix dot py. Simple indicator. Obviously, we need API. This time I don't need to go to OpenAlgo because my neighbor code is having that. Just copy that and then paste it over here. Save this. Run William Wixfix. So I'm going to type uv run app.py. Sorry, not app.py, but William Wixfix. But one thing I want to change this to daily scale because it's good to go with daily. And I want to try with Nifty spot is what I want to try. So this is Nifty and exchange is NSE underscore index. Right? So NSE underscore index is the value where we can get the Nifty spot data for the daily scale. And I don't want for 20 days. Let's say one for like 200 days is what I want because we are on a daily chart. Let's give a try. Right. So downloaded the data and it's running up. Hopefully it should work. Will it work? What do you guys think? Will it work? If it is not working right, then you should not get disappointed. Then you should think what data I'm missing, right? That is how we have to think. So yeah, so you can see that we are getting the data. This is what we are getting. Let's go and see, like, is that exactly are we getting in Nifty spot charts? This is futures. Spot might be little different. This is what we're getting in spot. This is daily. You can see that exact value we are able to get over here. Where it is. I can put this on the side, and one side we can get this. You can see that exactly same to same. There's no difference at all. Can OpenAlgo custom GPT can it do that? If you ask me, yeah, it can do that. But I would say like the performance of Cloud Code is like 10x of what OpenAlgo custom GPT is. In OpenAlgo custom GPT, I had to struggle a little bit, but here there's no struggle at all. Straight away. Now, let me give you a simple stats. Last 22 days, right? So we've been completely reworking, remodeling the entire OpenAlgo. Maybe the users who had seen the older version, they know what is the new version is all about, how much difference it is. Close to close, we had removed one 1 lakh lines of code. It is 1 lakh lines of code we had removed, and 1.3 lakh lines of code new code added. Everything in a matter of 22 days. We not just only return, because writing a code 1 lakh lines of code is not a big deal. Making it working is the big deal. Testing is what is going to eat you a hell of a lot of time, right? So the key thing is coding is literally gone, right? So I'm not the only one who is saying that. Linus Torvalds, the creator of Linux, who is famous for his amazing coding works. I mean, in fact, the entire world runs on Linux. If you are using an Android smartphone, that runs on Linux. If you are seeing any website, that is mostly 90% of the time, that 90% chance that it is hosted on a Linux platform. If you're watching market calls, it is hosted on a Linux platform. If you're watching OpenAlgo, that is hosted on a Linux platform. In fact, I hosted OpenAlgo here, test.openalgo.in, for testing purpose. And this is hosted on a Linux platform, right? So he is saying that, and Ryan Dahl, who is the one who created Node.js. In fact, OpenAlgo also powered by Node.js these days, not just only Python. Earlier, it was a pure Python. Now, for backend, we are using Python. Front end, we are using React is what we are using. So React requires Node.js to function. Of course, in your case, you don't need that. If you're an end user of OpenAlgo, Python installation is more than enough. But if you're developing the front end, you need to have Node.js. And the creator of Node.js, what he is saying, he's clearly saying that coding is gone. Who? The creator of the front end itself, right? I mean, the creator of React itself. And Claude, the founder of Claude, he is also saying that coding is gone, and in our company nobody does the manual coding. In fact, we also don't do manual coding. Let it be strategies, let it be building OpenAlgo, let it be any kind of implementation. Maybe I can show you a sample here. You might be, I don't know, I can show you something very interesting. This is something which I had created, not even a human. There is absolutely zero editing over here.
Imagine stepping onto the trading floor of a major stock exchange in the 1980s. The room buzzes with a roar of hundreds of voices, echoing with energy and intensity. This place is the beating heart of the financial world, and it's called the trading floor. Floor trading is where buyers and sellers meet in person to exchange stocks, futures, and other financial products. Traders use Special
I mean,
hand
the
signals
video is
use
already there, posted in Market Call's YouTube channel. You can go and check this out. But I can tell you, like, this entire video is 100% AI generated, including voice, the text, and probably the images, whatever you are seeing over the entire video. It's like almost 2.5 minutes of video. We can build even half an hour video also, but the entire video is generated using Python and Node.js, right? That's a crazy amount of thing that we can do with Claude. So yeah, Claude had built that. Now let's go one step deeper, right? Now what we can try to build is we can build something from some other websites. Let's take, maybe we can try to take, I don't know what to try, but any idea what you guys want to try so that we can try it out? Anybody? Something crazy, but something which is very simple that we can build in a matter of few days. Backtesting. So backtesting is like we can do it in a matter of minute. I can show you like backtesting and optimization, right? So yeah. So I had done an article on market calls, VectorBT. You can just search for it. Go to the part one, which is about backtesting and optimization. Right click, print this, save this as a PDF, right? And the thing what you have to do is very simple. All you have to do is go to the Claude code. All you need is one working example. Add the files and folders and just say that. And you say what you want to do. Let's say like I want to backtest Reliance 5-minute chart for last 1 year, right? And I'll say like for time being, I'll give the simple EMA crossover, 10 and 20 EMA crossover. I'm not saying that I want VectorBT, but everything, the entire article is about VectorBT here. Entire article is about VectorBT. It's a working solution because I had done the code, tested the code, even though the code is written by an AI tool, but I had validated it. But here I used, I'm not using OpenAlgo here. I am using Yahoo Finance over here. Here I used Yahoo Finance for getting the data. But in our case, this is not an expert in Yahoo Finance, this is an expert in OpenAlgo. So it is fetching the data from OpenAlgo, doing the backtesting code, it's writing the backtesting code. It is also writing the optimization code also. And it is also giving me the everything in an plotly is what it's going to give me. Let it run. So we need, first of all, we need VectorBT. So let me try, I don't know whether 3 version, my current version is hyphen version, it is 3.14 here. I'm not very sure VectorBT will install or not, but let me give a try. UV run, I mean UV pip install VectorBT. This will install VectorBT. Hopefully it will succeed. Yeah, it's done, right? And you can see that the VectorBT installation is pretty much faster. If you're done with a traditional Python, your installation will take at least 2 to 3 minutes for getting this done. Whereas here it barely installed in a matter of like what, 2.52 seconds. So that's why like UV is quite popular and getting popular. So we got the code now. And let's say I'll just gonna copy that. I'm not gonna run one by one, though we can do that. I'll take a new file and then new Python code. Save this. So file save as, I'll say like backtesting underscore vector bt dot py, right? All right. So now what we are going to do, we need AP key, right? So everything we need a AP key. So let me go and get the AP key. So, okay, we can get it from the neighbors. All right. So You're gonna run like UV run backtesting.vectorbt. Of course, the name is little wrong, but I can manage. So first of all, it's downloading the 1 year of 1 minute data. Last 1 year, it is taking time to render it. Now it is calculating EMA 10 and 20. Of course, that also is going to use OpenAlgo indicators. It is also getting those signals. So like for the last 1 year of 5 minute chart is what it is downloading. You need to understand that, right? So I'm not giving any position size, so it is setting the own position size. 50% of the equity is what it's setting up. Commissions and slippages, it is taking as like 0.1 percentage. And it has done the backtesting part and it is giving me the results. It is also giving me the summary as well. But so there are certain things it is not able to plot, maybe because of some index error out of bounds. I'll give that to my code. I'll say like this is what I got. So there was some error. So I don't even need to say what error it is, but it's going to fix that. Because that is the kind of Opus 4.5, one of the top coding model in the industry. At least as of now, it is the top coding model. And it keeps on changing. But Claude has been the number one for the last 1 year. Right? So it remains unbeatable. There are a lot of different models are trying to compete in the open source space as well. GLM 4.7 recently, Gwen, right? Everyone is trying to compete to match with Opus 4.5, but they are nearing. But Opus is keep getting better and better and better over a period of time. For time being, yes, closed models are better, but I think at some point in time, open source models will take away, right? But still, even if it is an open source model, right, in the LLM world, there is nothing called open source because it is machine learning. So there is only open weight models. But at some point in time, I feel like maybe another 2 to 3 years down the lane, the open weight models will be overtaking these closed models. That is anyways going to happen because the rate of how much the closed models are increasing its intelligence, the open weight models also increasing their intelligence. So at some point in time, it will catch up. But time being, we have Claude Code as the beast. Okay, let's give a try this time. So do I cross-check with VectorBT with Python? Yes, we have done all those things. Like VectorBT is totally a reliable one. It says like you have to install any widget. Yes, any widget is very much required for you to run along with VectorBT. So VectorBT requires any widget. Or there is a way you can install like VectorBT full version you should have installed. Doesn't matter. So we'll pip install any widget. Right, that is done. Let's give it one more try. So maybe it is looking little ugly, but whereas if you are using something like Jupyter Notebook, you can get some very interesting results. But anyways, here we go. Here is how the backtest is there. I should not open here, but I should directly open the HTML code. So we get the buy sell signals. So maybe you can zoom it out. You can get to see those indicators and also when the buy sell signal happened, right? You can get those things. And you can also get the equity curve. Equity curve was like, I need to reset auto scale. I mean, it's been totally losing money, right? It's not working because we are running on a 5 minute charts. So after commissions, we kept it like the maximum 0.1 percentage. So it's not a good idea to keep commissions as like 0.1. Anyways, by any means, in that case, even if there is a profit, also it goes down only because commission numbers are pretty much wrong. And drawdown also has been keep increasing. Maybe I'll try to give a different one. Maybe I'll say like I'll try to change this to Harley or something. And also I'll change the, let's give a try with Harley. So the question is how much trustable is VectorBT? So for that, you have to go and check the GitHub of VectorBT. GitHub, VectorBT. So they also have a premium version as well. And whatever is there here is the open source version. So you can see like almost 6.5K stars. So comparatively, if you had seen OpenAlgo is like 1.1K stars, which means 6 times more trustable than OpenAlgo, right? So that means they had gained incredible credibility over a period of time, right? So yeah, so that means you can trust. And they've been building it for the last 5 years. So significant amount of work has been done there. Let's say like 1 hour. And then a couple of things I'm gonna change over here. Position size, okay, let it be 50%, and fees is like not point 0.1. I'll say like maybe 0.05 is what I want to keep it, right? So that's for trading fees. Since it is in percentage, you have to multiply by 100 to get the fees in percentage terms. That's how Python works. So buying 0.05% and selling another 0.05% commissions is what I'm gonna take it up. I mean, it's supposed to be 0.11 is what I should keep. I'm sorry, I think I made a mistake. 0.1 is correct only. 0.11 is what typically will get the commission on slippages. If it is equity markets, well, I assume that we are trading now in an equity market, and let's say like we are running it in an hourly time frame. So let's try with this one, the newer one. Is recording available of this webinar? You don't need to even ask. All our sessions are getting recorded, and recording will be available the same day. Probably it'll take a little bit of time to process, somewhere around like 1 hour to end process the entire video, and the same day itself we'll be able to access once the session is over. So we have like Reliance EMA backtest now. Let's go and check it out. This is Harley time frame. Yeah, the signals little profitable, not so super profitable, but yeah, it's profitable. And we have like drawdown curve, everything is there. Currently it is in a drawdown, means Reliance, there was a sell signal and it's keep on sell is going on. So this is only long only. This is not long and short, right? If in case you want long and short, you have to tell Claude code what exactly you want to do. So you guys are able to understand the context. Means literally there is no coding here. Can you ask Claude Code to make this profitable? Unfortunately, no. Claude Code for that. See, only thing you have to understand that you have to come up with your own experience. With your own experience only, you can make it better. I can ask. If I'm going to ask, right, it's going to give me some vague answers and it's going to try some very basic things. So that experience, it has to come from a human, right? So that's what many people think like using a AI means you will be profitable. Wrong, right? So still a lot of effort has to taken from your side. So I can say like, can you make it profitable? Make this strategy profitable. Maybe sometimes it may deny, or sometimes it may try to add some filter and then say like, hey, I added, improved something, right? So it's checking for some best practices, adding some filters, but that filter, you know that is again an basic slop, right? So that is where you should not completely rely on the AI tools. You are the expert. You should do the research and you should come back up. Can you try this method? Can you try that method? The AI is really good in doing those things. What it cannot do is like trying to make it profitable because it doesn't know any information. It doesn't know whether you're trying in Reliance. It doesn't know the current market data. It doesn't know that. It doesn't know what Trump is doing these days, right? A lot of things it doesn't know. So if you're gonna ask, it's gonna give you the code straight away. Take this code, right? Will it work? If you ask me, that's a dangerous question. The right question to ask is like how I can give right context so that I can get a better indicator, right, or better outcome. How I can fine tune it. So it always has to be from your own experience only. Unfortunately, right? So the AI had grown to a greater extent in getting the job done, but still it cannot make you as an, I mean, it cannot be performing the trading work on behalf of you. It can help you automate, it can build you, it can make you build a dashboard, websites, everything. Unfortunately, it cannot build a um, profitable journey for you, but it can guide you in your journey of trading. It can guide you to achieve things, lot more things faster. So Dhruv is asking, like in AMI broker, can we do optimization on length of EMA? Of course, you can do that, right? So I mean, I'm not going to do right now, but this article covers those things. Here you can go and check like how to do the backtesting and optimization, like exactly how you do in I mean in AMI broker, you can do the same thing. But VectorBT does a lot more things. I mean, a single day is not enough to explain all those things, but VectorBT can do a lot more crazy things, right? Anything else that you want to try it out? And we done something very interesting stuff. Like some of the things that we had done is like we done this stuff here sometime back. You can find some of the examples here, as I said. One of them is like Nifty 50 heat map. Okay, how about an open interest chart, right? So let's say I want to open interest chart of Nifty. So I'll say like, can you use option chain and plot the histogram of histogram of C and P. Maybe I can give some example. I can go and say like I'll go and take it from Abstra. Say like open interest chart. Oops, not this one. Open interest chart. I'll go to 27 Jan. 27 Jan is the expiry. I'm gonna take it up. And I'm gonna disable a couple of things. Like I don't want PCR, I'm gonna disable. C and P change, I'm gonna disable for time being. Only the call open interest and put open interest is what I want. I'm also going to say what expiry I want. Like let's say like this is a sample code, I'm just sample image, I'm attaching it, right? And I'm going to say like, can you use option chain and plot the histogram of CEPE for Nifty? The exchange, we know that an exchange is like NSE underscore index. Sometimes it may hallucinate, so we don't want to give an room space for that. So I'll straight away saying that Nifty NSE underscore index. NSE underscore index means this tool can have the capability to understand that it is an I mean, it's an exchange supported by OpenAlgo. And I also have to give the expiry as well. So I'm going to say like the expiry is going to be like what? 27 Jan 26, that's the expiry, supported by OpenAlgo. That is also in OpenAlgo format, not your broker format. The Nifty is in OpenAlgo format. Nifty NSE underscore index is in OpenAlgo format. Everything is in OpenAlgo format. Across all the broker, the format is pretty much similar, right? And I'm going to type enter. And hopefully we should get something, a working example using Plotly. Most likely it should be in Plotly only. So now it is able to read the documentation. It is able to find where the option chain documentation is. And now it is writing everything. I mean, very soon you'll be finding all these things inside OpenAlgo. I want to do that, but right now I'm not doing it because I want to build the base. Now the base is built. Maybe very soon you'll be finding that OpenAlgo also supports all these visualization stuff because it's a matter of minute, right? Once the base foundation is ready, you can build any kind of data visualization, any kind of indicators you can bring inside, anything you can do. Still keep writing. All right. So we'll go for another code file, new file. It's a Python file. I'll save this. I need, as usual, an API key. I'll take the API key. Yes, that is done. I'm gonna give the name as like what? OI charts. That's what the name I'm gonna give, or Nifty OI charts. Will it work? One shot. Let's give a try and see. I'll say like UV run Nifty OI charts. Enter. It's getting some error. Never mind. I just copy this. Sometimes some brokers are not providing open interest, so we have to be very sure about that. But let's see. I think I'm seeing some open interest values here. But let's give a try. So buyers, I think they provide open interest. So some annotation error. So not the error in fetching the data, but some charting issues that should be sorted out. Okay, so if AI is going to do everything, what I should learn, right? So there are a lot of things that we can learn using these AI tools. One is we can design our own trading platform, or we can design our own data visualization platform, or we can build our own algo execution engine. Right now, that is what I'm doing here. I'm building with some 100 features of RMS engine is what I'm trying to build. I think very soon it will be available inside OpenAlgo. I already started building it. And you can find it in the branch, whatever the work that I'm doing, you can find it in the risk management branch. There's a branch inside OpenAlgo in GitHub. There is a branch called RISK. So I'll be posting all my work there. Then finally we'll be merging it once after sufficient testing is done. All right, let's go here. Go to this particular code. Take the code, paste it over here. Change the key and run the execution, right? Yeah, I think it's ready. It is not coming like a website because we are not building a website, right? Otherwise, you can also build the same way over here. This is not what exactly I want, but you can just give it to Claude and then it can fix it up. So it's what it's trying to do is like it's not doing side by side. It's not showing the call on the upside and put on the downside is what it is showing. But I want to show it exactly like side by side is what I want. I can also control a lot of things here. I can say like I want side by side. I just post the image as an information. I'll say like I want C and P side by side for the same strike. And I want only strike with hundreds, not 50s, right? So I'll say like I want strike with hundreds, ignore the 50s. And I'm also going to say like I want in the white background is what I want, white background. And I also gonna say like, hey, this is my API key, so attach my API key in the code. So this will say like, this is my API key, use this. So that I don't need to copy and paste every time. Use this. So a lot of instructions I'm started giving over here. Earlier instructions are only single liner. Now we started giving more and more instructions. And let me tell you, in the last 2 years, we had built tons of strategies on top of OpenAlgo. Not even none of the lines has been manually written by a human. And it is practically easy with these kind of custom GPTs and Claude projects kind of tools. It is easy to build your own strategy. Strategy can be a simple strategy, a medium level strategy. It can be an investment strategy. It can be an investment dashboard, right? Or it can be even your own trading dashboards. So you can build the way you want. As simple as that. And that is what OpenAlgo also trying to solve. OpenAlgo is basically it doesn't want you to sit and code, right? Coding, yes, coding was an USP long time back, but now a trader, if you're having your own idea, you can convert any kind of complex idea into code. Even your idea can be from YouTube, your idea can be from PDF, or your idea can be from research material. Doesn't matter. You can easily convert into a coding solution in just a matter of time. Let's give a try. So hopefully the API key is set. Sometime it will not set for security purpose. Yeah, it's there. Let's run it. Oh, it's having some bad coding issue. And in the past, right, I had built all those things manually. It took me like days, 1 or 2 days. It took me to sit and figure out how to write this code in Python. But you don't need to figure out anymore all these things on your own. All right. So update it, copy the code, save it, run the code. Yeah, it runs. Where is the code? Oh, I'm sorry. I was opening a Python code. I should open this one. No, is the file name is different? Yeah, the file name is different. What the file name we are seeing here is Nifty option chain, but what it had delivered is like Nifty OI chain. Yeah, here it is. I can see that I asked in a white format. I asked side by side. I asked like I want only zeros, I mean hundreds. And like how you can see this is what we call as a kind of a tooltip. The tooltip is exactly similar to what Define Edge had done. Does it mean like it is game over for Define Edge? Of course, no. Define Edge has their own empire, but that's the starting point of OpenAlgo, right? That's what I would say. So means you can build this kind of stuff. Very soon you'll be finding all these kind of things inside OpenAlgo itself, right? It's not going to take much of a time, but it's kind of a time and testing effort is there. You have to check it out whether it is working across all the brokers, all the exchanges. Manual testing is what mostly we have to sit and do. Rest everything is like you can do whatever you want. Yeah. Dhruv is having a question. Yes, Dhruv.
Hey, thanks for unmuting me. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, please.
So, it's very passionate to see you, the way you've been building this and the amount of work that you're doing for the whole community.
Yeah.
Uh, See, when it comes to the training that you're having, and I will tell you where I'm still confused
Mm.
to take that decision that I know that I need to learn Python,
Yes.
but my questions and my objectives are a little different because I'm coming from the traders community. As
Yeah.
a traders community, um, my set problems are to I have an idea
Mm.
and I do not know whether this idea is great for which time frame, for
Yes.
which parameters. Take
Yes.
as simple as example, for example, EMA that we discussed, or
Mm.
example, Dawn-chain channel.
Yes.
All I'm trying to say here is it's very nice to see all these visualizations, but how to convert that visualization into an actionable thing,
Mm.
or even taking an idea as a trader, how it can help me to the end-to-end journey. Execution is great. I think we spoke as this product that you're building, this perfect, but I'm still confused as a trader or as an investor. How do I reach to or whether that would fulfill as this training that we are going to have in
See,
coming.
there are tons of ideas out there in the form of research material or in the form of trading view, or many things are there. Uh, and you might be having your own ideas which you want to convert that
Correct.
into code, which was earlier we traders are kind of handicapped, but not anymore. That's what my context is. If you're having any design thought uh, for example, I would like
So
to.
that for so sorry to cut you, but that was also possible or is still possible via TradingView. Just for an example, because TradingView can give that visualization, but it cannot do the optimization.
It can see that's
Uh,
where the ideas are coming from. So we need to search for ideas. Even for ideas, you can rely to some extent on. When I say to some extent, still you have to feed the context. So you can ask like, can you try this idea? Can you try that idea? So you have to go and search for various ideas. One of the sources like ARXIV, you can find tons of ideas. You can find it, right? So here you can go and search for tons of ideas here. You can say like you want some intraday strategies. So you can find a lot of ideas over here. Some of them could be pretty basic. Some of them are written by funds. Some of them are written by only professors. They are not traders. Some of them are done by some research analyst, right? So different kinds of ideas you can find over here. Or you can find tons of ideas in trading view also. Not every idea has to work, but you can understand like okay, you can what you can do is like you can take some part of that idea and you can try to fit in your existing models. You can see whether the improvement is happening or not. For that iteration, Claude code will be not just only Claude code, even Gemini and ChatGPT, everyone are highly competent in implementing those context. And as I said, Claude code always goes extra one extra mile.
okay.
See, ideas you can find everywhere. Like so, I mean,
No,
I
no,
would like
so
to
there
tell
are
you like one
tons of
real.
ideas. How do I convert that into workable or uh, as simple as say, support, or as simple as trend following system? But using a trend following system,
See, once
how
you
do
start,
I?
you'll be getting an idea. It will not be a non. It's not going to stop. I can
Mhm.
tell you like one more live example. It's not something not related to trading, but one of my nephew came a couple of days back, right? So he said like, I want to implement a project. Can you help me out? I asked him like, what exactly you want to build? He said like, I want to. So he was keep on saying things, and I had to keep on drawing stuff. So this is what I had to draw. Let me check. Come on. Yeah. So he want to post an. He want the users to upload a simple image, and then he want to determine whether the inputted image is a plastic or not. If it is a plastic, then what is the alternative to the plastic? That's what he was asking, right? So a simple, some school style project it seems. So he wanted some idea. It take me only 5 minutes to implement this. And he was asking like how to write the code. Like, well, you're not touching the code at all. Like he's studying in 11th standard. Let me check like, yeah, this is what I have to reply him. This is the one which we built. You drop an image. It's a plastic one. So it goes to, this image will be sent to ChatGPT. ChatGPT will be reading the image and try to check what kind of image it is. And it's gonna give me like what? It can give me like, it's gonna interpret that it's a plastic. So it's a, I given a prompt to check whether it's a plastic or not. So it's gonna check whether the plastic or not. If it is plastic, what to do? So this entire flow is what I had given as a prompt, right? I given that as a prompt. The entire image I taken a screenshot and I'll give it to the uh, Claude code and to ask to build. I asked to analyze the image, so the image will be analyzed. And not just that, it's not only analyzing the image, it's going to tell whether it's plastic or not. It is also going to tell you whether it is also an what is the alternative to it, right? So it also gives an explanation about it, like what is this? This is a teal green household plastic bucket with an molded plastic handle, and that's it. And then it also suggests an alternative, right? So what is the solution? What is the disadvantage? What is the advantage? I just asked only to add an advantage and disadvantage. So you try to understand what is the image is and try to say like what kind of things it is. You don't believe me, like people had done the same thing. It's done by an Shopify CEO, right? So I'm sure like you guys know and understand Shopify, right? The Shopify CEO, I'm not exactly sure whether it's Shopify CEO or not. You can upload your own MRI scan and you don't need to get the consultation from the doctor. It will try to explain you in a simple terms. And that is possible, right? And people had done that. And Shopify CEO himself, he had done that, I think. So you can just uh, take the MRI scan screenshot, you upload it like a kind of a simple portal, what he had developed. It can give you the complete summary about what exactly it is all about. In a simple explanation, it can give you. I mean, I'll give this link as well, just give a try. And not just that, it also have a gallery as well. So it can give you a gallery about like a couple of things. So he keep on going and checking whether it is eco-friendly or not. If it is eco-friendly images, these are real images. Yeah, I mean, he been trying it out and he's trying everything. Now going and trying, giving it to his friends and checking like what exactly is this, what is the alternative, whether it is giving right solution or not. Everything he's checking this out. This is something which is crazy. I mean, I never thought like he just given an idea. I thought like maybe let me give a try, right? But converting why I'm trying to say this is trying to convert you. It might sound little complex, but once you start doing it right, you know how to implement completely in terms of code. So coding, there's no work in coding over here. How to design things is what it matters going forward. That's what my point is. That is what my strong argument also. At least that is what I learned in the last 2 years. Maybe things may change. Right now, we humans have to design, we have to tell how we want, what you are expecting. The delivery will be 10 times even more bigger. That's what these AI models are likely to do. So Yogesh is asking a question. As a discretionary trader, it's hard to code my manual daily trading to auto trade. How to tackle this? See, something complex like market profile and order flow can be code, if you ask me. Yeah, that is what my one of my ambition also. One of the reason why I'm building OpenAlgo is also to reach towards one of my goal to automate market profile and order flow kind of concept end to end, because it is something which is very visual. So if it is visual, right, still there are a lot of rule based approaches are there in market profile and order flow. Completely a rule based approach. Can it be automated? If you ask me, very difficult earlier, but at least now there is some light in the tunnel is there that I can automate my own complex market profile and order flow strategy. It's a discretionary strategy. We can automate it. Yes, some part of it I had already automated it, and maybe whenever I find time, I'll try to spend some time on automating market profile and order flow as well. Yes, it can be automated. But thing is, you need to know how to prepare the ground foundation so that you can use that foundation in the long term to build more complex things, right? So without knowing the foundation, what to build, right? Plain vanilla, you cannot ask, hey, I want this. So you need to know what the foundational things you have to build. If I want to straight away, I cannot give this image. I haven't given only this image. I had taken a screenshot and I haven't given that. So I need ChatGPT API. So I given the ChatGPT API. Okay, I want an image generation. I had given an image generation API, sample examples. So a lot of foundational details you have to give. Once you give the foundational details, then only you can build bigger complex machines, right? I'm sure you guys would have seen gigantic machines. If not, probably just go and check in YouTube channels and probably in there'll be like huge engineering missions, right? At the fundamental level, they are like kind of tiny piece of elements. If you are really good in getting the fundamentals right, you can build large machines on top of that. And that is already happening, right? And that is going to happen, and that is what the future is all about. The future is not about simple stuff. The future is building something crazier and bigger. Everybody is going to do that. Whoever is, and I think that era has already begun. And OpenAlgo is just only a speck of that. All right, so let me pass here. Maybe next week we're gonna learn more interesting stuff. I think by that time, I think all the visualization will be available inside OpenAlgo. See you in the next week with more interesting content. Thank you. Bye-bye.